Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I'll just do a testing of the sound if the sound is okay.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
And the music, meditation music is okay?
Oh, sorry, not able to hear you meditation music.
Oh, it's not audible?
No, it's visible, but I'm not sure whether other background music or just. Yeah, it's audible.
Okay. Okay. Should I increase the volume a bit?
Yeah, I slightly increased it. Yeah.
I'll do that, sure. Okay. Thank you. I'm done. Thanks. I'll just increase
Thank
the
you. Oh,
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. A very warm welcome to all the participants to today's online session. I hope I am audible to all of you. If not, then please feel free to stop me by typing into the chat box. Today, our topic is magic of meditation. As we all know that calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. And this calmness will come from meditation. Meditation is like giving a hug to ourselves, getting in touch with that awesome reality within us. While meditating, we feel deep sense of intimacy with God and a love that is inexplicable. It doesn't matter how long we are spending on art, how much money we have gathered, or how much attention we have received. It is the amount of positive vibration we have radiated in life that matters. One doesn't practice meditation to become a great meditator. We meditate to wake up and live, to become skilled at the art of living. So this session is going to be very much interactive and will help us to learn meditation techniques for everyday life. We will have a deep experience of peace and happiness with the help of guided meditation. Along with this, we will also have a live musical meditation, which is going to be very much interesting. So now moving further, I would like to say a few lines about the organizer. This webinar is being organized by the IT wing of Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation, which is a sister organization of Brahma Kumaris and was formed in the year 2015. Our IT wing aims at bringing internal transformation in the professionals, especially for the IT and allied industry. The Raj Yoga Education and the Research Foundation has 20 different wings that are providing services to the different sections of the society. Saying little more about Prajapita Brahma Kumaris Ishwariya Vishwavidyalaya, which was started in the year 1936, is an international non-governmental organization in general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council and UNICEF. It is also affiliated to UN Department of Public Information. If you want to know more about the organizer, then you can browse the links given in the slide. Before we get started, just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. We will bring them up after the presentation, where we will have some time for questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our speaker, Brahma Kumari, Sister Ritu. She is a freelance trainer and consultant with deep inclination for creativity and art-based learning to bring behavioral transformation in individual, team, and organizations. She has completed her MBA from Institute for Technology and Management and Bachelor in Management Studies from SIES Mumbai. She is a certified happiness practitioner by University of California and is also a certified professional behavioral analyst and DISC administrator. She has an insightful experience of more than 12 years in learning and development and has conducted various training programs at educational institute, organizations, Indian Armed Force, and hospitals. She has also appeared in the television show for students Hum Honge Kamyab as a guest speaker. The World HRD Congress has awarded her with Asian HR Leadership Award in 2017 for outstanding contribution in training and development. So today we have a very special personality with us. Let us welcome her. Welcome, sister. Welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
Om
It was wonderful meeting you and everybody who's joined in through IT Wing even last time. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you once again. Thank you, sister. So we'll start with our session today. And while we do that, I'm sure all of us know that, it's a very special time that's going on right now. Very special days that we have going on. And what would I be referring to? Would you like to put it up in the chat box? Anybody who thinks they know what I'm talking about can just put it up in the chat box. What is it that I'm referring to? What are the special days that are going on right now? Diwali, that's absolutely right. So just to kind of start, from something that's happening around us, what is Diwali for you? What is this festival? What does it mean to you? Can we have some sharings there? It's such a wonderful time, isn't it? Diya, oh, that's nice. A festival to give. Diya, okay. Giving, okay, that's nice. What else? Lights, that's absolutely right. Lightning torch, okay. Diwali is lights, yes. So basically, I see a lot of lights. Okay, so let me relate it back to our session today. Yes, Diwali is all about lights, and meditation, the topic for today, is also something very similar, which is lights. But how lights? Can someone think about it? What am I referring to? So Diwali, we say lights. It's almost like synonym to lights. We have diyas, we have lightning all around, we have crackers which also have lights. So a lot of lights around. How is meditation related to light? Wonderful. Overcoming all darkness, getting enlightened. Yes, that's Dipankar says happiness. Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. That's absolutely right. Wonderful. One more sharing, moving from darkness to light. Yes. Overcoming vices. That's wonderful. Yes, so absolutely right. So here we are today to enlighten our own selves a little more, through this technique called Raj Yoga meditation. We'll also look at general relaxation practices, and then we'll move on to what is Raj Yoga meditation and how do we practice it in our daily lives. And of course, like Sister mentioned, we'll experience all of it. We'll not just hear all of it, but we'll experience what it is. What is that relaxation, what is Raja Yoga meditation. We'll experience all of that, and we'll also use some instruments. Okay, so instruments really don't ensure that we're able to meditate, but they kind of create an environment for us which helps us meditate, or kind of focus and concentrate a little more. So we will use some tools and techniques here and there to kind of enhance our experience of meditation. So that's how this 1 hour is planned for all of us. Yeah. So are we ready? Can you put it up in the chat box saying yes? Are we ready for this wonderful inner journey of enlightening ourselves, illuminating our inner world? Yeah, that's nice. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much once again for your responses. Like Sister said, this session is going to be very interactive, okay? And one thing that I want each one of you to know very, very clearly is this session is all about you. Who is conducting the session, who is organizing the session is least important. You know why? Because meditation and the experiences that you have in in a meditation session is not about anybody else. It's about what you create in your inner world. Yeah. So who the speaker is, who are the organizers is least important, at least for the next 1 hour. And more deeper experiences you create for yourself. You don't allow distractions to kind of come in. You let go of everything and just be there for some time. This 1 hour just for your own self. If you're able to do that, we'll have a wonderful inner journey. So let us start our wonderful journey within. Little time for your own self. Away from everything outside. Your back straight but relaxed. Your feet resting on the ground. And your entire body is very, very relaxed. Slowly feel that your feet, your knees, your thighs, they are all becoming very, very relaxed. Your stomach, lungs, heart, shoulders, any tightness or heaviness is slowly getting merged and going away. Neck, face, your forehead, they are all very, very relaxed. Feel that every beat of these instruments is bringing you in this present moment. Completely in the here and the now. You get deeper into that experience. Allow that experience to stay with you for a couple of more seconds. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Now, tell yourself that I'm open and ready to learn some new learnings, some new insights, and some new perspectives. Om Shanti. So, how many of us could experience meditation little bit? We could at least experience some relaxation. Our mind is feeling a bit more relaxed than what we had, the time when we joined the session and now. Is there any difference that you experience? You could turn on your videos, you could if the system allows, you could unmute yourself and share, or you could put it up in the chat box, whatever system allows you. So the time when you joined and now, is there any difference in the experience that you have? Highly relaxing. Okay, Bharti ma'am says yes, there was a difference. What was the difference? Can you help us understand a little more? Feeling comfortable. Okay, thank you for sharing, Dipankar. Yes. What else? Anybody else would like to share? जब हमने ये सेशन शुरू किया और अब क्या अंतर है? What is the difference? Feeling light. Okay, calm. Wonderful. Thank you for these sharings. What is it that we do? What do you think we did exactly? Cool mind, mind fresh, okay, calm, feeling energetic, seeing myself. Okay, that's nice. Positive mindset. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your, so many sharings that you've had. So The entire session is going to be like that, right? It's more of sharing that you have your experiences. All right, so yes, what did we do? What made those 3 minutes make you feel relaxed, comfortable, refreshed, energetic, positive? What did we do to kind of shift from where we were to where we are? What did we do? Wonderful. Away from worldly affairs during meditation. Yes. Okay. What else? What did we do in those 3 minutes? Anybody else would like to share? 3 minutes. What did we do? हमने किया क्या उन 3 मिनट्स में कि कुछ अलग हुआ, कुछ अलग हमने अपने जीवन में अनुभव किया. Concentrating on ourselves, peaceful mind, we were focused. Introvert from outside, okay, we detached, or maybe just let go of outside things. Okay, focused on the present moment. Okay, that's very nice. Thank you, Swapna Ben, for putting your video on. That's very helpful. Yes, you can keep your videos on. It'll be very nice. Yes, so focus on the present moment. That's wonderful. So yes, that's exactly the starting of meditation. Okay, it's not really meditation. What we did just now is not meditation. It's just that first step towards meditating. Yeah, and imagine if that first step towards meditation can be so relaxing and so calming, what would the real experience of meditation be? Yeah, ये तो अब बस taste किया है. We've just had little taste of what meditation could be, but the real experience, we're inching towards that real experience of meditation, and by end of 1 hour, one guarantee that I can give you is we will have really, really deep, amazing experience of meditation today. Yeah, so this was just one part. But like we know, the topic for our session today is magic of meditation. So I want you to think about what magic can meditation do in our lives. Okay, so one is, yes, I know it can make me feel calm, it can make me feel good, comfortable, all of that, but does it really have any impact beyond that, is what I want you to think about. And while you think about that, I'll also move on to the next part, which is this slide that you see on your screen. Okay, I want you to read this this text in next 30 seconds before I stop sharing the screen. Done? Should I stop sharing? All right, so 30 seconds done. We move back. Okay, so how was it reading this text? Can I also request organizers to allow participants to unmute? Will that be okay? If we can change, we can have some sharings also during the session. Yeah, so participants, you could unmute and share, or you can put it up in the chat box. How was the experience reading that text which you saw on the screen? Anybody? So difficult to read. Okay, that was one experience. You were finding it difficult to read. Okay, we look at why part of it a little later, but I want you to tell me what was the experience of reading that text. One is difficult to read. What else? Any other sharing? How was the experience? Were you able to exactly make out what was written in the text? It takes time. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but yeah, okay, got something, I think confused or something. Jumbled words, okay. It was hard to find different words. Yeah, you're trying to figure out what is written, and we're trying to guess what's written. Okay. No dots. Okay, there were no dots. The person who's written doesn't know grammar. Okay. Okay, got puzzled. Okay. Difficult to understand. Yeah. It was hard, but we were trying to guess. Okay, all right. Yes, I'll just, I see one hand raised. I've sent a request to unmute. You could unmute yourself. I saw some hand raised. I've sent a request. You could unmute and share. Confusing, extra effort to understand. All right, nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all your, sharing. Somebody wanted to share on audio. Okay, so while we try and figure out if that's possible, I want you to look at this next slide that comes up on your screen. Okay, the same text, you have about 20 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds you have to read this text. Okay, we already have sharings coming in. It was easy, Sudhir Bhai says. What else? And you can also unmute yourself. So thank you for allowing us to unmute. So participants can unmute themselves and share what was the difference. It was clear, it was easy to comprehend. Okay, detached from our usual routine. Okay. Within 15 seconds, I was able to read. Okay, that's one sharing. Effort required was much less. It was easy to read, easily understood. Yeah, okay, wonderful. Right? So, this is exactly what meditation does to us. Okay, before I move on to what is it that it does, what was the difference in both? The first slide that you saw when you read the text and the second slide that you saw, what was the difference in both? Bharti ma'am says it was sorted, it was okay, there were spaces in between, all right. What else? What was the difference in slide 1 and slide 2? Give space to add meaning. Difference, okay, there was no jumble, there was clarity, it was readable. Okay, that's nice. So one, there were spaces in between, and there were comma, there was full stop at the right place, right? And what it did is it made it easy for us to read, it made it easy for us to understand without stress, right? Yes, so that's what is being shared in the chat box. That's wonderful. Now, that's exactly what meditation does to all of us. Yeah, this is what it does. It creates those right spaces in our thought processes. When we think about things, we are able to think, at a right speed, in a right way. If there are places where we need to put a full stop, just end, thinking about something, we're able to put the full stop, we're able to put the right commas, we're able to, write sentences, create those sentences in our mind very, very beautifully with right spaces. How does it help? Exactly what you mentioned in the chat box. It makes us easy to understand life the way it is. Sometimes you're so jumbled up in our own thoughts, like those words, we're so much into our thoughts that we don't see things as they are. Yeah, and when we are not able to see things as they are, what it possibly does is, we find it difficult. There are times when we are not able to clearly understand how things are, and when we don't see things clearly, when we don't understand, okay, that's when we are not able to make right decisions in life. We get more confused, like some of you had written. So everything that you mentioned in the chat box is exactly what meditation does. It helps us bring a lot of clarity. It helps us become little more calm by putting that full stop. It helps us channelize our thoughts. It makes it easy for us to understand. Yeah. Anybody else who would like to share anything? I see some responses saying this. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. It's great to see all of you, right? Namaste ji, Hanji. So we have Carol sir. Sir, from which country are you? You joining from which country?
Poland.
Oh, you're from Poland. Okay, that's nice. Yeah,
Europe.
Sorry, can you come again, please?
Middle Europe.
Middle Europe. Okay, that's nice. That's wonderful. So, welcome, once again to this session. It's wonderful to see you also. It's very nice if all of us could just switch on our videos and, show our enlightened face since it's Diwali. Anyways, I'm sure we are all lightened up already. So, it'll be great to see some of some of our faces also. Thank you. Wonderful. Great. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, now we know what magic meditation can do in our lives and our thought processes. Now, how do we prepare ourselves for that wonderful experience of meditation? The first one is becoming aware. Becoming aware of what? Becoming aware of our inner world. Okay, what is our inner world? Any thoughts, anyone? What is our inner world? We are so much, we're so much aware of everything that's going on outside, right? We know everything that's happening around the world, around the country, around the city, the number of cases and everything, right? So we're so much aware about everything outside. How about our inner world? Anybody, any thoughts, any sharings on what is our inner world all about? Yes, what's our inner world? We've spoken so much about enlightening our inner world and illuminating our inner world, but what is that inner world? Anyone? Our mind and our body. Okay, very nice. What makes us happy, sad, confused, hurt? Okay. Okay. Processing. I didn't get that. Okay. Introspection and silence. Knowing about self. Okay. Peace, purity, power. Okay, that's nice. Anybody else who'd like to share? What is our inner world? So all the answers that all of you are giving are absolutely right. What I will only do is put it in a structured way. Okay, I'll tell you what our inner world is and then what is it that it does to our life. Okay, our inner world is basically, yes, positive thinking, peace of mind. I cannot see my inner world. Yes, that's right. We can't see it. Right. So, VK, sir or ma'am, I can't see your name there. Can you help us with your name? Brother or sister who's written, I can't see my inner world. Can you help us with your name, please? It'll be nice to kind of interact. Okay. Vishaka. So, Miss Vishaka Kohli, I completely agree with you when you say that I cannot see my inner world. Then how do we know if there is an inner world? How do we know that we have an inner world? Do we have? We don't have inner world. What do you think, ma'am? Yes, no, maybe some responses coming up. Yeah, so we have, okay, that's nice. So you're absolutely right that we can't see our inner world, but we can definitely experience our inner world, isn't it? The feelings that we experience all throughout the day, what most of you have written, peace, happiness, all of these values that you've written. So it's an experience of our inner world. Now, next question that I have for you is, what creates our inner world? What creates our inner world? Any thoughts on that? Wonderful, Vishaka ma'am. That's absolutely right answer. It's our thoughts. Right? So every thought that we create, okay, leads to some feeling. For example, we did this in the last, previous session also. One thought, we practiced this, right? One thought, I am a peaceful being, and the experience of peace. Every thought that we create leads to some experience, the feeling part of it. And those feelings actually create our experiences of our lives. Yes, so thoughts, feelings, experiences. Thoughts, feelings, experiences. And this process that I'm talking about, thoughts, feelings, experiences, is constantly going on. Okay, if we look at what psychologists say, they say that we create almost between 40 to 60, 65,000 thoughts a day. Every 1 or 2 seconds we have one thought. Every thought that we are creating is making us experience some feeling. So imagine the dynamics, which we're so much curious to know how world works, how universe works, all of that. But imagine what dynamics our inner world has. Every 1 or 2 seconds we have one thought and feeling. An entire day, the thoughts that we are creating and the feelings, creates our experiences of our life. So our entire day experience depends on what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. Yeah. So if there are times when you're not feeling good, okay, let's say today, I'm not feeling good about things and my mood is not that great. What should I do? If that's my experience of life today, and I'm not feeling good today, or my mood is not that great today, what is it that I need to do? Any thoughts? Change outside circumstances. I give you 3 options. You have to choose right option. Okay. If I'm not feeling good today, okay, I'm not, it's not a great day for me today. 3 options I give you. You have to choose out of these 3 options. The first option is change outside situation. Change people around. Change situation. Change countries. Change cities, or change people, or whatever. Okay. Change jobs. Change boss. Anything. So change outside situation, option 1. Option 2, change the feelings that we are experiencing about whatever. Okay. 3, change our thoughts towards it. So option 1, 2 and 3. Okay, wonderful. So we have really interesting answers coming up. C, option 3. Okay, reprogramming of our mind to change thoughts. That's absolutely right. Okay. Wonderful. All of us are so enlightened. I can see through your answers when you say it's 3 and it's 2. Okay. So all of us are really, really enlightened in that sense, aren't we? But what do we do in our entire day? Do we actually think about changing our thoughts about things, or we keep thinking, why is this like that? Why are they like that? Why it happens to me all the time? So somewhere we're all really enlightened souls here joined in for the session, who are aware that what we need to change is something which is in our controls, which is our thoughts and our feelings. But do we really work on that? Or do we work on everything outside? People, my spouse should change, my children should be better, they should score some good marks, and the third wave shouldn't come, or whatever. The government should change, and the boss should change, the job should be better, it should be less stressed. Are we more focused on all of that in life, or are we really focused on our thoughts and our feeling? How do we kind of channelize our thoughts and feelings is what we work upon throughout the day. Yes, what do we work? So we know that we can work on option 3 and 2. What do we work more in our lives? Do we work on option 1, situations, option 2, feelings? Do we work on option 3, thoughts? What is it that we actually work upon throughout our entire day? What do we practically do? Okay, 3, haha, boss should change. I know that. Wonderful. Okay, 1, that's great. Option 1 at max. Okay, that's nice. Yes. So that's absolutely right. Okay, when we actually work upon something which you can change, or you can kind of improve, you will feel less stressed. Okay, because it's in your control, which is our thoughts and our feelings. Outside situation may not really be in our control. Like people, the way they behave, what they say may not be in our control. All of us are aware about it. So then how do we bring ourselves back to our inner world to have better experiences in life? And one way of doing it is becoming aware. Okay, becoming aware of our own inner world, which is our thoughts and our feelings. Just becoming aware. That's the first step. Sometimes what we end up doing is, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to get angry on people. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to get upset. We work a lot on the result part of it. And we want to change it. But before changing it, the first step is to just be aware. As soon as I'm aware, you will realize, you will see that you are able to channelize your thought processes. Okay, it's like driving. Let's say, we drive our mind, right? So let's take an example of a vehicle. When we are driving, if I'm driving at, let's say, 80 kilometers per hour, in India 80 is good speed. I mean, if I talk about outside, so I know that we have some participants from California, we have participants from Poland. So, there the speed could be very, very different. I'm sure it's 100 plus, 150 plus, but here in India, 80 is also good enough. So I'll just, with that context, I'll say that let's say if I'm driving at 80 kilometers per hour and I have to take left turn. Okay, what would I do? Would I continue to drive at 80 kilometers per hour and take a left turn, or will I do something different? What do we do normally when we drive, when we have to take a left? We slow down. Yeah, yes, that's absolutely right. We slow down. If we are in fourth gear, we'll, reduce the speed, we'll come to third gear, and then we'll take a left. Okay, this awareness is exactly that. Becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings is exactly that. It just slows down our, speed of thoughts. And then we can channelize our thoughts. We can't directly channelize, when we just take a turn, chances of accident is very, very high. But when we slow down, our vehicle is in our control, and then we take a left. So let's now practice what is this awareness. Yeah, so we've heard a lot, we've discussed a lot. Let's move on to the next part, which is the practice part of it. So are we ready for our next experience of becoming more aware of our own inner world? Yeah, so again, very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Focus your attention on your inner environment. How is the weather inside today? Just slowly become aware. Do you hear some outside sounds and noises? Similarly, now turning your attention in your inner world, do you hear some inside sounds and noises? Slowly become aware of your thoughts. What is it that you're thinking right now? Don't hold or stop any thought. Just slowly become aware of your thoughts. As you become aware of your thoughts, you realize that the speed of your thoughts slowly reduces, and your mind is very, very relaxed. Now become aware of this new inner world, a very calm, very peaceful inner world. You can slowly open your eyes. You can move your feet a little bit, move your fingers a little bit, but continue to be in that awareness of your inner peaceful world. Yes, what was the experience this time? Anybody would like to share? You could unmute or you can put it up in the chat box. Very relaxing. Okay. Yeah, just becoming aware. Just being with ourselves and becoming aware. Silent, calm, feeling energetic. Okay. Yeah, actually, there is a myth that if we meditate, we become less responsive or we're not energetic enough to achieve things, but that's really not true. What meditation actually does is it saves so much of our energy and effort in wasteful thinking that we're able to do much more than otherwise. Yeah, and that's been my experience all through my journey of meditation. Wonderful. Able to see our thoughts. Okay. How can I do it again without the help? Vishaka ma'am, very simple. We are learning techniques today. You don't need anybody to do this again. I'm just sharing very, very practical techniques with you today. You can actually do it on your own. You could use maybe music or you could do it without music, but one by one, I'm just sharing techniques with you and you will definitely be able to do it on your own. It does require some practice, but with right tools and techniques, I'm sure you'll be able to practice it on your own. Able to see our thoughts passing, that's wonderful. Feeling relaxed and better. Yes, I can see my thoughts changing. Wonderful. Uh, that's great. Thank you all for those wonderful sharings. Okay. Like I said, we are yet not there. Okay. We've not reached the stage of meditation yet. We are just into that preparation. Okay. So, meditation, let me tell you, is much more deeper than this. We've just prepared, if we have to travel somewhere, let's say if I have to travel from Mumbai to California. Okay, if I have to travel, what would I do? I would prepare myself, right? I will ensure that I have things in place, I have the setup ready, I have the tickets booked. So it's like that. What we've done so far is only preparation of what? To take up that, take that flight, inner flight, like I would say. We're just preparing ourselves so that we are ready for our wonderful inner journey, and that the first step of that inner journey, or the first experience of Raj Yoga meditation is becoming aware of our thoughts and feelings. And then the next thing is channelizing. Now what is that channelizing? We've just become aware. So far what we've done is reduce the speed of our thoughts. That's it, what we've done. The next step is channelizing, taking that turn, which becomes most important. Yeah. And that turn or that channelizing of our thoughts is, what do we think now? Okay, I am relaxed, but how do I have that great experience in meditation? That's the next step. Okay, the next step is channelizing our thoughts, which is going beyond everything which is around and creating an awareness of who I originally am. Okay. And sometimes in spiritual practices we make it very complicated. We say, okay, who am I? I'm this, I'm that, and we make it very complicated. It's actually the most simplest and the most natural experience that we humans can have. And that experience is, like we're called human beings. Okay, we are human beings, right? So being on this human journey, I the being, the energy, the soul, the spirit, the ruh, anything that we could give it different names, that's completely fine. But it's that that chetanta, that life force which is there, right? So I'm that being on this human journey. Human, it's made from this word called humus. Humus is basically, if I have to say in Hindi, it's mitti, right? Mitti se bana sharir, the body which is made of these elements. Okay, so human journey, this physical journey, being on this physical journey. And when I want to have really deep experiences in meditation, what I need to do is create that awareness of who I am, that being, spiritual being on this human journey. That awareness is channelizing your thoughts. And why this is important and how it channelizes our inner world, the experiences that we have in our inner world, very simple. Because the being is actually very peaceful. The being, originally, the nature, right? So being is peaceful. The being is happy. The being is powerful. So then I don't have to do anything to become peaceful. I am that, right? I don't have to, build courage or get courage from somebody or somewhere. No, I am a powerful being. I have that strength within me to endure anything and everything that comes my way because I am a powerful being. I'm a being very loving, a loving being, right? So I don't have to create something or I don't have to seek love from anybody outside because I am love. Sometimes, what we do end up doing in our lives is we seek from others. They should accept us, they should love us, they should be kind to us, they should be compassionate towards us. And in that journey, we only drain ourselves more because we are seeking, seeking, seeking. And sometimes we may get, sometimes we will not get that acceptance, that love, that kindness, that compassion. Why are we seeking outside? Any thoughts? Have we ever experienced that feeling of wanting somebody to love us, wanting somebody to accept us? Do we experience that in our lives ever? Anyone? Yes, no, maybe? Yeah, okay. Why do we do that? Why do we seek? Why do we want others to love us? Why do we want others to accept us? Why do we want others to be compassionate towards us? We're seeking from outside maybe because we don't know how to get it from inside. Yeah, that's what we are discussing, Vishaka ma'am here. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I don't think so. Okay, wonderful. So, yeah, at times in certain relationships which are very close to us, especially in those kind of relationships, what we end up doing is we start seeking from outside. Why? Because we've forgotten, we're not in that awareness that I am a loving person, I am love, I am peace. When I'm in that awareness, then I'm not seeking anything from outside. Then there is no seeking. What I am, why would I seek from anybody? Yeah, it's very subtle and deep. If you reflect on this one statement, on this one thought, that I am that, why would I seek it from anywhere or anybody? Yeah, and when I remain in that awareness of who I am, a peaceful being, a loving being, a happy being, a powerful being, a pure being, that innocence of a child. So when I am in that awareness, there is no seeking from outside. And slowly, as our awareness of our own selves becomes stronger, you will see that the seeking part of it slowly reduces. There'll be a point in time where you will feel, okay, now I don't need it from anybody outside, but I'm so full within. I'm so full within that I'm able to offer in my relationships. When will I be able to offer? When I have enough. When I'm so full with it, I'm able to offer it to others. Today, chances are, because we are not aware or we are not, we don't constantly stay in that awareness that I am that, and so consciously or unconsciously I start seeking it outside. What meditation does is creates that right spaces in our thought processes. Oh, am I seeking from them? I am that. Why am I seeking? So, full stop. It just brings us back to our original self, which is very loving, very peaceful, very powerful. It just brings us back. It makes us aware. Okay, why am I seeking? What is it that I'm clinging on to, wanting and clinging on to? Don't need. I am that. Slowly, as our awareness of ourselves strengthens, that's the time when we are able to offer. Yeah. So let us now get on to one more experience of which is the first step of Raj Yoga meditation, which is creating awareness of who I am, a spiritual being on this human journey. So let us once again prepare our mind, very, very relaxed, very comfortable. In that awareness of your inner world, of your thoughts and feelings, slowly tell yourself that you are not these thoughts. Neither are you these feelings. Then ask yourself, who am I? Don't look for an answer. Just reflect on that thought. Who am I? An energy, a life force in this body. This is who I am. I, the being who is very, very peaceful. I am peace. I am love. Let me get deeper into that experience of I, peace, love, and all those wonderful feelings. Just be there for a couple of more seconds of who I am. in that experience. This is who I am. Om Shanti. Can we come back? You can open your eyes, you can move your feet a little bit. Very, very relaxed. You can continue to be in that awareness of who I am, but with a little shift. We have another 5 to 7 minutes, and I will cover one more part of this session today, which is, what is the ultimate step of meditation, which is what we will discuss in next 5 minutes. But while we do that, what I want you to do is what we've heard just now, which is I am the being and this is my instrument. Okay, so now when you hear the next part of the session, what I want you to do is, listen to the next part with that awareness that I, the being, am listening through these ears. Yeah, just that awareness. Not that I, this body, is attending this session. I, the being, is listening to whatever is being said through these ears. This is my instrument. This is my vehicle. But I am that being. Yeah, so let's continue to remain in that awareness, and the next part, which I'll just share the screen with you. So we've heard about awareness of ourselves. So that's the last slide that I have for you for today. What exactly is Raj Yoga meditation? So the first step, how did we prepare ourselves for? Okay, I'll just go to the previous slide. This is how we prepare. So Vishaka ma'am, you said, how do you practice it on your own? So first, you just prepare yourself. Okay, you prepare your mind for a wonderful experience in meditation. How? One, by creating present moment awareness, being in the now. If you want to know a little more about that, my previous session, just in the same series, there was one session where I've talked a little bit about creating the present moment awareness. So that's the first step. Then the second part of it, what we heard today, which is being aware of your thoughts. Once you are aware of your thoughts, you are able to become aware of your inner world, which is thoughts, feelings, and our experiences. Okay, so this awareness is basically preparing your mind and relaxing your mind. This helps you relax. Okay, the next part that we heard today is being aware of who we are. Who we are. I am peace, I am love, I am happiness, I am power. This is who I am. Yeah, when I create this awareness of who I am, what it simply does is, it creates my inner world. The experiences of my inner world become peaceful, happy, without having dependence on any person or situation. And what we also got to know is, when I am this, I don't seek it from outside, I offer it to others. Yeah, and the most important part, which is the final experience of Raj Yoga meditation, we become aware of ourselves. We also become aware of our innate qualities of peace, love, happiness, power, purity, and bliss and knowledge. These inner, basically innate qualities that the soul is, kind of the original nature of soul, basically. So these are first two steps which we just experienced in the previous meditation experience. And the third and the most important part is connecting with the Supreme. Okay, why is this step the most important part of Raj Yoga meditation? Is because, somewhere in our human journey, okay, we've acquired relations, we've acquired possessions, properties, all of that. okay, in our human journey, soul, which is actually peaceful, happy, powerful, all of that, what happens is in our journey, somewhere these values get depleted. Why? Because I acquire something, I lose something, I have some negative experiences, I have some hurtful experiences. When I'm hurt, the quality of love depletes. When I get angry, upset about something or at somebody, the quality of peace kind of depletes. So in my journey of this human journey, basically I have had some positive, not so positive experiences, and so these values in me, values as in these qualities in me, would have depleted in some or other percentage. Somebody may be more loving, somebody may be more peaceful, the other qualities may be a little less. Yeah. But why in meditation is it important for us to connect with that one supreme being? Is because he or she, I mean, he is just an indication, it's not a gender, but the supreme being actually doesn't take a human journey, beyond this human journey, and so is always full of these values: peace, love, happiness. That's why we call the supreme as ocean of love. We call the supreme being as the ocean of peace, the ocean of power, ocean of joy. Why do we call the Supreme as all of this? Because he's always full, never gets depleted. Whereas we on our human journey, what happens is we do get depleted sometimes, and so we're not able to experience these values constantly in our lives. So third and most important part of meditation is connecting with the Supreme Being. But to do that, okay, the first two steps of meditation are most important. To have deeper experiences in that connection with the Supreme, it's like that radio frequency. You need to really tune into the radio frequency to connect with the radio station or whatever it is. And that's how then the songs start getting played in my radio. So basically it's like tuning in. What is that tuning in? Becoming aware. Because I, the being, the Supreme is also like that being, no? We call the Supreme as light, we call the Supreme as light and love, we call the Supreme as Noor, yeah? We call it as, Jyoti, Param Jyoti, right? So it's like that light of these values, full of these values, always. So first, if I want to connect with the Supreme Being, I need to create that right awareness, which is tuning into his frequency of peace, love, happiness. And then when I connect, in that right awareness, when I'm able to create that connect with the Supreme, I'm able to experience these values even more deeper. So now we come to the last part of our today's meditation. Of course, we'll have the question answer session after this experience, but we come to the last part, the last experience for today of the magic of meditation. You've already experienced some magic through meditation, which is calmness, peace, energy, all of that. Just continuing that inner journey and kind of filling ourselves with these values further. Let's move on to the last experience for today. Of course, you will keep continuing your journey. You will still explore further. You will keep listening to these sessions every Saturday here. And apart from this, also you can further explore your spiritual journey, because it's not about how many sessions you attend or how many how many hours you sit in meditation. It's not really about that. What is important is what kind of experiences am I able to create in my journey, in that spiritual journey. Yeah, deeper the experiences, the transformation of these unwanted. Somebody had written overcoming vices. So overcoming vices, you don't have to do that really, because when you're like imbibing these qualities, these values, vices will automatically, there'll be no place, right? Like there is no place for this, for darkness. If I switch on this light, there's a light here. If I switch it on, and I say I want light, darkness is like, vices. If I need light, what I'll do is I'll just switch on the light, right? I wouldn't work on darkness. Darkness should move out of this room. No, I'll just switch on the light. When you switch on the light of these values, which is peace, happiness, love, power, you don't have to work on the vices. Yeah. So most important is not how much time do I spend every day. Most important is how deeper experiences am I able to create, and how much am I able to sustain that awareness throughout the day. Let's say I spend some time in meditation in morning. Throughout the day, can I continue to be in that awareness? Who am I am peace, I am love, reminding myself, oh, I'm seeking, let me come back, I'll not seek. Why? Because I am that. So bringing yourself back to that awareness of who I am throughout the day. Yeah. And for that, let us move on to the final wonderful experience of Raj Yoga meditation, where so far we've experienced ourselves, we've experienced our innate qualities, and now we experience connecting with that Supreme Being. Very, very relaxed. breaths as deepen your awareness of your own self, of who you are. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Om Shanti.
Sister, you are on mute. Please mute yourself.
Okay, yes, sure. So let us come back. So today we just had a glimpse of what Raj Yoga meditation is and what experiences we could have in Raj Yoga meditation. We've also looked at some steps of Raj Yoga meditation. One is becoming aware of our own selves. Second, becoming aware of our innate qualities. And third, very important, connecting with that Supreme Being. One who's full of love, full of peace at all points in time. And so He's able to offer to us. And when we take from the Supreme and we are full ourselves, we're able to offer to everybody whom we come in, contact with. So I hope you had a great experience. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, sister, for this wonderful session. And I would like to request all the participants to share their questions in chat box so that sister will clarify their questions. So everyone, you can put your question in the chat box. Now, one question is like, what is the measure of internal happiness?
Okay,
One brother has asked.
wonderful. So, if we have to measure, there is, external, there are instruments outside, like a happiness index instrument, and there are various instruments which actually measure our level of happiness. But I think the most important tool to measure our happiness is our experience of our everyday life. Am I able to smile through difficult times? Am I able to just be comfortable at ease with whatever is happening outside? That's the measure. Am I able to remain stable in any situation? Am I able to channelize my thought processes in the right direction throughout the day? That's the measure of my happiness, the experience that I create for myself all throughout the day. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, what is the standard? If I have to tell you what is the standard that God gives us, I mean, the Supreme says is Sada Khush, always happy, not even a second where we are not happy. That's the measure. Because we have to be like, we God's children, right? So we have to be like him, her. I mean, so when we have to become like somebody, their standard is always happy. So then the measure for me would be always happy. So that's the ultimate goal. Always happy. जो भी हो जाए, सदा खुश. कुछ भी हो बाहर, सदा खुश. Where am I? Maybe I'm 50% there, maybe I'm 40% there, maybe I'm 70% there. There is a gap. So, in my meditation and my effort all throughout the day, can I reduce that gap? Today, if I'm at 60%, tomorrow, can I become at 70, 70% closer to, being happy all throughout the day? So that's the measure, and that's how you calculate your, where we are and how much do we need to work upon ourselves. So I hope that answers the question. What is the best time for meditation because of busy life? Yes, busy personal, professional life. There are so many things that we do, and it's almost like if we wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, we are almost rushing for our offices. I know most of us have our office not just next door. We have to travel, we have to reach. Before that, we have to ensure that we have our basic hygiene done, and then our food and everything, pack up things, and then so the best time to meditate is before all of this starts, before anything of this starts, and not just for yourself. So let's say my day could be starting at 7 or 6:30 or whatever it is. Okay, my day could be starting at that time, maybe let's say 6:30. I'm just giving you an example. My day every day starts at 6:30 in the morning and ends at, let's say, 8. If you're work from home, it's like even 10 o'clock in the evening. There are times when we are working, right? So there is no as such cutoff from the time this pandemic has come and we've started working from home. There is, especially in India, that's what we see. Of course, outside life is a little more balanced, is what I know. But in India, somehow at times, work-life balance kind of gets a little missed. So, before we start our day, let's wake up maybe 15 minutes, half an hour early, and start our meditation practice. That's generally what is what is good to do, but best to do. If you tell me what is the best time, okay, so I'll now move to your question. What is the best time to meditate is when everybody else has not started their day. Now, why am I saying that? For a simple reason. When we wake up and we start doing things, okay, I have to cook, I have to get ready, I have to, put things together, I have to get the child ready, I have to send the child to school. When people actually get into work, there is a lot of thought energy in the environment because people start thinking. Okay, and thoughts are like energy. Scientists actually measure it, like how many thoughts we have, and all of that can be measured, right? So thought energy is there in the environment. Once people start working, the number of thoughts increases, and then we still can meditate, but the experience may not be as calm and comfortable. So the best time could be before everybody else wakes up, when the thought energy in the environment is very less. I sit, meditate. The experience in meditation is easier to happen at that time. But it's not like day one I have to suddenly change my timing. Of course, I have to take care of my health, I have to take care of my routine, and slowly shift to a morning time, maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30. That's a time which is best for meditation. Why? Because everybody else is sleeping at that time. Okay, so the thought energy in the environment is very, very less. So that's the best time. But to start with, if you're just initiating your meditation or your spiritual journey, whatever time you normally wake up maybe 15-20 minutes before that, so then you're not rushing towards your work. You sit to meditate and you say, oh, I have to reach certain place, so I have to get ready. If that's there on your mind, chances of having good experience in meditation would be very less, and hence a little early. So then this time I have dedicatedly for my meditation experience. So two ways. One, best time is 4:30 when the entire world is, nobody's awake. That's the best time. To start with, you could decide your own routine and slowly move, basis your experience, basis the motivation that you have, you could slowly move to 4 or 4:30. But for now, you could actually wake up a little early and start the experience. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, sister, we should pick up? What's the time?
Yeah, it's like one or two questions you can take. It's difficult to keep my mind blank. So while meditating, is it possible there is no thought and we can meditate?
Wonderful. So keeping our mind blank is actually not, you know, see, the job of the mind is to think. Okay, so even when you say that I will not think anything, or let me, I have that blank thought, like I'm blank, that is also itself a thought. So if you want to have deeper experiences in meditation, what we need to actually do is, okay, create, one, reduce the number of thoughts. How? By little practices that we just discussed. And in meditation, just create that one thought, I am peace, and stay with that thought for as long as you can. So you stay with that one thought as long as you can. Let's say I am peace. Just be peace. Okay, you're there with that thought and feeling of peace. Longer that experience of that one thought, deeper your experience would be, and more calm you will feel. Yeah, so completely having no thought is kind of practically not possible even in delta state, okay, which is your sleep state. Even in delta state, you do not, nobody of us is in that complete no thought stage. So one thought, but stay with that one thought for as long as you can. That could possibly help us have best of experiences in our meditation. I hope that answers the question, sister.
Thank you so much, sister, that you have clarified most of the questions. Yeah, the participants are asking if there is meditation videos available in YouTube. Yeah, we have the.
IT Wing has lot of these sessions, lot of meditation, short videos, long sessions, all of that. What we will do is we'll share IT Wing's YouTube channel here. Yeah, it's already there. You can go through IT Wings. There are a lot of videos. It'll help you meditate. It'll help you know more about meditation. All of that. Yes.
And we're expecting more sessions from sisters in future, so that we'll schedule as per availability.
All the sessions which you will come across, there'll be a lot of value add. So don't wait for one session. Just enjoy whatever comes your way. Just cherish it. Make the most of everything that comes your way. I would just say that, in fact. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I see Didi has also joined.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sister. Thank you so much for this wonderful session.
Thank you. I had really good time with everyone once again. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Now I would like to request Gulab Didiji from Patia Center in charge to deliver the vote of thanks.
ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति। तो आज आईटून के लिए सबसे पहले परम पिता परमात्मा को तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उसके बाद हमारा आईटू के पर्सन परमादरणीय राजयोगिनी ब्रह्मा कुमारी डॉक्टर निर्मला दीदी जी को मैं तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। तो जिनके मार्गदर्शन में आईटी सेवाएं चल रही है। तो उसके बाद हमारा मधुबन आईटी विंग कोऑर्डिनेटर राजयोगी ब्रह्मा कुमार यशवंत भाई जी को भी तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उसके बाद हमारा भुवनेश्वर सब जन के मुख्य हमारे परम आदरणीय लीना दीदी जी को भी दिल से धन्यवाद है, जिनकी शुभ भावना से ये सेवा चल रही है। विशेष आज हमारा वक्ता ब्रह्मा कुमारी रितु बहन जी, जो इतने समय देकर सुंदर तरीके से हम सभी को आज के टॉपिक्स पर समझाए। तो इसलिए रितु बहन जी को परमात्मा की तरफ से, मेरी तरफ से और सभी भाई बहन की तरफ से बार बार दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत थैंक्स दीदी जी। आज के प्रोग्राम में जिनका भी सहयोग रहा उन सभी को बहुत बहुत थैंक्स। आप सभी भाई बहन जो आज के इस प्रोग्राम में बहुत जुड़े, चाहे जूम के माध्यम से चाहे यूट्यूब के माध्यम से, आप सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सभी को धन्यवाद करते हुए परमात्मा की याद में रहकर मैं अपनी वोट ऑफ थैंक्स समाप्त करती हूँ। ओम शांति ऋतुवेन जी, और थैंक्स, बहुत अच्छा लगा है। ओम शांति।
थैंक यू दीदी, आपने समय दिया, आप हम सबसे मिले भी, तो इसके लिए हमें बहुत खुशी है। थैंक यू। ओम शांति।
ओम शांति।
Also, for all the participants, there is a godly invite that after this session, those who are interested to take up the basic meditation course via online or offline, they are most welcome. So I just wanted to know the count out of these participants who are interested really to learn more Raj Yoga meditation in depth and explore about the Raj Yoga meditation. Can you put in the chat box like I am interested, or those who have already completed also, they can mention that they have done the 70 course. Yeah, IST time, India time. Okay, Brother Carol. Okay. Diva Bhanti Bhai, okay. Dipankar Bhai also. Okay, so definitely we will share the link for the upcoming, how to practice the 7-day meditation course. We'll share the link with all the participants. Okay, Mrityunjay Bhai already done the course. Okay, so there are basically 4 to 5 days, this basic course, we'll schedule that and share with all the participants, so they can explore more about Raj Yoga meditation and practice for a happy, peaceful lifestyle. Thank you so much. We will meditate for a few minutes with the remembrance of Supreme and end this session.
Bye.